Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do another, well, you know what? This isn't really a review. It's more like a rant video. So for those that have a Pixel 6 Pro and you're going through the same issues that I'm going through, this is for you guys. And this is basically a video of reasons not to buy this phone. Now, I already did 2 videos on this. One was a review on it. I actually loved the way this phone looked. It wasn't anything special, but at least it was an actual affordable phone. Just so you guys know, this is the Pixel 6 Pro. And recently, before I even jump into the problems I'm having, I want you to understand, I want you to see this flicker. See that flicker? Let's do it again for you guys. Do it a couple more times, just so you can see that flicker. There you go. Let's do it a couple more times so you can see it. If you didn't, it's here. There you go. Let's see the flicker one more time. All right. You may be wondering what that is. The Pixel 6 Pro, when left on standby, after a certain amount of time, it has a horrible issue of constantly freezing. Like, I don't know if the phone froze, I don't know if it crashed, I don't know if the Android crashed on it, whatever happened, but I've been having this issue where, and keep in mind, this is a replacement phone. It's not like I, got it out of the box and everything was perfectly fine. No, the first phone had a extreme overheating issue, which I still have to this day, where if I do a recording with this camera, unfortunately it's hooked up to Wi-Fi, you're not gonna be able to see it. But if I do, actually while I'm talking, let's go ahead and try to do it anyway while I'm talking, recording. So if I do a recording with this particular camera, what happens is that, let's say I do change the settings, I'm doing 4K, it doesn't matter if it's in 4K or not. And I decide to do a recording. After about a few minutes, 1 to 2 minutes, I've been having this issue where, beautiful camera by the way, it's an iPhone 12 looking at a Pixel 6 Pro doing a camera. I'm gonna see if I can get it warm. But after a few minutes, minute and 30 seconds, 2 minutes tops, this phone tends to get extremely, extremely, extremely hot in the back. And it stops me from doing my Google backup because if the phone's too hot, Google won't allow it to back up the photos. So I've been in settings where I've been in war rooms. We're talking like I did some tests. Like I put my house at 85 degrees and set them into a particular room, did some testing. Within 30 seconds, the phone got extremely hot. Or if I was outside, not 20 degrees, but 40, 50, 60 degrees, Philadelphia, Upper Darby. Did take a little bit more time for the phone to get warmer, primarily because the weather was decent outside in terms of temperature, so the phone didn't get extremely hot. So I had to use this in a colder environment, as crazy as that sounds, just so that the phone would back up properly. Now, the screen flicker started happening when I would just charge the phone, take it off the chargers at 100%, wouldn't use it for a couple hours, and it would happen probably about once every couple days. So if I had this phone for about 30 days, just saying I had it longer than that, but hypothetically, it would freeze every 2 days or so. And I had to hold the power button to actually turn it off and it turned it back on. And it doesn't look like it's doing a thing right now with it getting too hot. But it was a simple problem where I don't know what's going on with this particular device. I also had this issue where I have to turn it off, turn it back on when the screen orientation decides not to work. And there's been a few issues where I would turn it sideways like so, screen orientation wouldn't kick in. So I had to actually go to the settings of the Google Photos, edit the video, and then just turn the screen orientation and save it that way because it would never turn sideways. And let's not even get to the drop calls and other issues that I actually experienced myself recently. So long story short, this is what, an $899, $900, $1,000 phone. I think it's like $899 or so. I forget, but the prices vary. For Google to come out with a phone, I don't know if this has something to do with that. I don't even know what that chip is called, Tension chip. I don't know what it's called. It's a very good phone if we're talking about specifications and what it's capable of doing. It's definitely one of the best cameras, in my opinion, of 2021 so far. Granted, I still prefer my iPhone 13 when I had it, 13 Pro Max, before I gave it to family. But this did a better job with being able to isolate photos and kind of blur out the background. Love the way it does this. And for whatever reason, actually it's not getting really warm right now, so that's a good thing. This is a little warm in the back though. But I wish I had one of those temperature guns, because this section right here, right underneath here, and this section right here gets extremely warm, sometimes hot when I'm doing videos, especially if I'm recording like the HD videos. And also right here in this little section where I hold it with my left hand, it's getting very, very warm. And to pay for a phone that's $900 in these circumstances, this isn't worth the money. Granted, if there is I doubt this is a software issue to fix that. I mean, again, I'm not a technician, but the fact that the phone is getting as warm as it is sounds like it's more so of a hardware issue, meaning, I don't know, maybe it doesn't have great ventilation. Maybe it's just too thin and there's not many, what's it called? I don't know how fans work. I'm more of a PC guy where I know there's coolant and there's fans spinning in the inside and whatnot to keep your device regulated when it comes to temperature. But when it comes to the phones, Androids and Apple devices, I'm not going to single them out, always had that issue where with prolonged use, you tend to experience overheating issues. Granted, phone cameras are getting better, but what I noticed is that these manufacturers aren't doing a very good job of actually maintaining the phone. It's as if they want to put a good camera in it, but some people primarily use cameras as their devices, be it YouTube, be it podcasts. Yeah, sometimes people use cameras, and cameras could be clear enough where it does a good job, where it picks up a lot of sound. Especially me, I tend to use Bluetooth in my ear when I do these reviews, so if I'm far away from a product, guess what? You can still hear me clearly, and I need my phone to actually work, especially if you buy these phones straight out like I normally do. I expect my phones to work. And as for the emergency call thing, I don't think it's a SIM card inside of it, or it might be. I was testing different SIM cards out inside of it, seeing if it was unlocked. But anywho, the point is that for those that buy this phone, because I did a video before about this, and I had to re-record it because it was a rant where I was just digging in this phone, it was getting on my nerves, and I was just digging in Android, period. Primarily because since I switched over to Apple, I'm still an Android lover. I have my Android tablet. I always need that tablet for backing up for posting to YouTube. It makes things simplistic and much easier. I love it. The problem with the phones is that they're charging top dollar, $1,000, $2,000 for foldable phones, and they're subpar underperforming phones. Granted, you have the S20 Ultras, the S21 Ultras of this world, and people can jump on this video and debate and say, well, my phone is great, and that's fine. But we're talking about the mass majority, how when you drive off the lot on a car, your car instantly loses value. While using an iPhone, an XR can still retain value over 3 years. It might be a little bit less, the phone might still be $500 and they discontinue it, but you can still sell that phone in tip-top condition for $350, maybe even $400, depending on the person that you're dealing with and how desperate they are to receive an unlocked phone, if it's unlocked. On the other hand, you get a Galaxy phone, you can go and swap at different places, and they're cheaper the moment they buy them because they don't retain the value. They're not very valuable. They don't get the software updates that are necessary to fix actual problems that they have. A lot of these manufacturers tend to just leave the phone as is and say, well, you know what? Next year, I'm going to go ahead and fix that problem instead of handling the problem when it occurs. So, again, the Pixel 6 Pro was a good try for Pixel. I do like the phone. I think it's very good. But for anyone that's experienced these issues, first it was the issue with the fingerprint where it took a minute to unlock when you press the button. It shouldn't be that big of a delay on a $900 phone, but I'm not going to nitpick. Fine. Maybe they did that for security reasons, or maybe they just didn't know what they're doing with the on-screen fingerprint. I don't know, but they did that. Secondly, battery life was okay. Not a bad battery at all. Not the best, but not bad. It did last throughout the day. I think it gave you 30-watt charging with the fastest speeds it had. So it's similar to the Apple, like 30 minutes. I think 30%, 50 minutes, whatever it was. So it wasn't horrible. It was the industry standard, if we want to put it that way. Screen resolution, perfectly fine. I don't have any issues. I am a little afraid that over time this would have screen burn, but it's okay because I don't use this as a primary device. It was just a camera after a while. And just using the camera, the phone was getting too hot. And I still have that issue to this day. This is one of the reasons why I'm not going to use. Now, I'm going to I'm going to keep using this. I'm starting over my words. I'm going to give it another shot. I'm going to keep using this. But for those that are interested in getting a Pixel, all I ask is that you research the issues. Don't go into the website, a Google review, and then look at it. And there's going to be lies, and companies make lies saying 5 out of 5. This is the best phone I ever had in my entire life. Oh my gosh, it almost made me kill myself. No, they're lying. They're lying about that review. Some people generally like the phone, but when you see those 1 star, 2 star, 3 stars, actually read them and see the issues that they have with these reviews. You can't necessarily go, and not to defame anybody, but you can't look at the Marquises of the world and the, Flossie Carters of the world and say they review phones all the time and they'll tell you the truth, but they're not following up on particular devices. It's no way to know, and it's not their fault. It's no way to know the issues that a phone has until it's launched, because a lot of those issues are hidden through the manufacturer. I like to call these AAA companies, where they do the same thing that these AAA games have been doing. They'll release an unfinished product and make you the market tester for the regular price in order to do it. So when you see these reviewers say, oh, it's such an amazing phone, oh my gosh, you're right. Like, I love Flossie Carter, and he's genuine on all his reviews. So that's my number one guy to go to. I like with it, Kevin the Tech Ninja and a few other people. These are guys that will tell the truth of painfully honest tech. They'll tell the truth about a review. Travis, I forget his full channel name, but this is Travis, whatever his name is, I forget. Like he had the catchy opening. That's why I love his videos. They'll tell the truth about products. Though Kevin the Tech Ninja and Travis will dive deeper into it and revisit phones with no issues. And they'll use it. They'll use it for a couple weeks. They'll let you know what's going on. And sometimes you don't have the issues that other people have, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Someone may see this video and say, you know what, you're BS and you. No, I had this issue. You may not. I had to replace this phone twice through AT&T. You may not have that issue. I'm sorry, replace it once through AT&T, and I actually do have a factory unlocked one. And again, both of them have that overheating issue. And originally I got it for my wife, but she ended up switching over to Apple. She saw me, asked me a couple questions. Are you having issues? The only issue I had with iPhone was that all their phones need to be 128 moving forward. Of course, I'm using an iPhone 12. I know the 13s are different in terms of storage, but I'm using a 12 at the moment under Metro by T-Mobile, because I was just like, I love their service and I like an affordable bill. There's no reason to pay 130, 140 bucks for one phone. I think that's insane. There's nothing smart about that. I'd rather just save up the money, have a low cell phone bill, and then just buy my phone straight out. Makes more sense to me. But anywho, like I said, just be careful when you buy this phone. Make sure you do your research. Please do your research. Don't walk into a store and let the seller, which will probably sell you anything. They'll sell you a shoe with no laces if they could. And, just say, listen, it's not about what's the hottest phone out. It's about what's going to work for me, longevity. Now, granted, Google, I think, promised, 3 to 5 years. I think it's 5 years worth of software updates. I could be wrong. I'm probably thinking of Apple, but at least 3 years. You will get your updates. This will be the first phone probably to get all the Google, let's say iOS, Android 13, 14, 15, all that stuff. They will support this phone. They will support it. But you have to understand that, I don't know, when issues arise on the Pixel, it's not a guarantee that they're going to update the same way iOS does, because they have a more integrated system, iOS. So they kind of have no choice across the board, while Google devices can be standalone and they don't really need anything else to be used with them. But anyway, this was supposed to be like a 6-7 minute video, and I ranted on nearly 14, 15 minutes. So again, I will see you guys in the next video, and just kind of be aware of, this is the reason why I'm going to stop using the Pixel. I'm going to try it again as a camera probably in the next couple weeks, but realistically, I can't trust it anymore with the overheating issue. And I hope Google sees this video and they decide to actually do something about it and try to fix it, rather than just, having videos on YouTube talking about the most advanced camera ever. Yeah, and then after 10 minutes or 14 minutes of recording, especially when I do a long video, I have to put my phone in the freezer, which I haven't had to do that since the old days of the iPhone 5s and whatnot, in the old days of the Samsung S7s. I didn't think I had to go back to doing that, but it is what it is. So anyway, that's the video. Like, subscribe, and I will definitely see you guys in the next one.